The San Diego Council on Literacy brings you Literacy for All with your host, Jose Cruz.
Welcome back to the show. We're into our third segment here on Thursday, November 19th, 2020. Our guest for this segment of the Literacy for All radio show on VSRadio is one of the assistant principals at Sweetwater Adult Education, Sara Garcia-Salgado. Sara, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
I'm so glad to have you and have the representation of Sweetwater Adult Education. The bigger entity is at the Sweetwater Union High School District.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and then Sweetwater Adult Education, is that kind of like the adult division, or is it one of the centers?
Yeah, it's the adult division. That's correct.
Okay, so I need that information just for our file. So very good, and really glad to get that update. And it is descriptive. It is in the Sweetwater District, and it is adult education. You're serving which communities in San Diego County?
So we are down in South Bay, and we have National City. We have 4 adult schools. So we have National City Adult located in National City, Chula Vista Adult. We have Montgomery Adult School, that's South San Diego, and San Isidro Adult School.
Wonderful. And these are well-situated, valuable programs. Can you, off the top of your head, describe maybe your enrollment numbers? How many people are served overall in the adult education program?
Well, COVID time right now, our numbers are lower than usual, but I think that's across the state. We serve anywhere between 8,000 to 12,000 individuals in the South Bay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, wonderful. And is there, every community is different. Is there can you help us understand maybe your target population who, not that there's a typical student, but what are the things that you deal with being a adult education resource in the South Bay?
Yeah, adult education resource, yes. So mainly we do have to have 18 years and older. If we look at the way we're defined is through our consortium, so the community college boundaries. Mm-hmm. And we look at the data of what we have in our community, and what we see is that we do have a higher level of poverty than what we find in California. In California, the rate is 13%, and we're looking anywhere between 20 to 24%. We have a lot of English language learners, right? And if we were to compare our community with that of California, in California there's about 18% that would say that they speak English less than very well. Mm-hmm. In our communities in San Isidro and National City, we're looking anywhere between 43 to 48% that speak English less than very well. So those are prime candidates here that we can assist with ESL, either English as a second language courses, or if they need assistance with their basic reading and writing skills.
Very good.
The other one is the high school graduates would be the last one, right? Very
good. Yeah, I'm familiar with the census information, at least for National City, and I think it's 72% of individuals age 5 and over do not speak English as their first language. That's a lot.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yeah. And so, how does that frame what you're doing through the district? How does that create maybe challenges, or I'm going to guess by now you have a very, very good way of addressing the language needs of the students as well as their literacy needs.
Well, yes. When it comes to English language learners, ESL it's our largest program area, and this year we just underwent pathways. So what we've done is identified the 3 pathways that our English language learners have, and what we see is that many of them, when we ask them, what their goal is, they say they want to learn English or improve their English skills. But when you drill down a little deeper, some of them want to do it because they want to be able to communicate with their children's teacher, or they want to be able to go to parent conferences or read signs or speak to the doctor. So we have our ESL, community ESL pathway. In addition, we have another group that they're here because they may have a degree in their country, and so they want to come here and get their high school diploma or go to college or the university. So they're prime candidates to fit into our academic ESL pathway. And then the last one would be they want to learn English to get a job or to get a better job. So we would put them and enroll them into our ESL workplace pathway.
Those are that's a wonderful breakdown. Thank you for that. And I don't think a lot of people are familiar with just what you're doing and how you're addressing the needs of the different English language learner populations. Let me circle back to the professionals, the academic ESL. How big is that program?
That one, well, our main one is community. Our academic would be our second. Mm-hmm. I would say we're looking at probably 30% of that of our ESL group fits into the academic pathway. Okay,
wow, that's big. That's big, and we want people in all of these programs. We need everyone, right? We need everybody to be able. We need parents to be able to communicate with the teachers and with the doctors. We want those professionals who are coming here from other countries, and of course, there's employment. Going back to the academic ESL population, how do you measure your success? Are you, can you say, look, these people came in, they didn't know English real well, they're really good in their trade, their field, and they moved from here into the mainstream of the U.S. and they're providing the service in their area of expertise, and they're bilingual now, for example?
Yeah, that is the goal. So we want to be able to look at the data. This is the first semester that we implemented these pathways. Mm-hmm, so we've only had them in our classes for a couple of months. But that is exactly the kind of information that we want to track. We want to be able to say, this number of students came in through our academic pathway, and this percentage ended up at Southwestern College, or they went on to San Diego State. Right. That is the goal.
And tell us about. I did want to ask you about what I was calling in my mind the myth of ABE and ESL programming, because we're used to, some of us long-timers, we talk about adult school and night school, and then you have a population of students that might have dropped out of high school, but they wanted to come back. Who am I describing here? Am I describing individuals that you're seeing? How much has it changed from what we would call night school or adult school?
Night school and adult. Well, so I think who fits into our ABE? Well, we are very intentional in trying to capture all the students who, for some reason, were not able to complete high school. When you look at the high school side of it, they have language that refers to these students as non-grads. Here at the adult school, we label them as future grads. We believe that this is a great landing spot for them. Sometimes, for whatever reason, life gets in the way, you're unable to finish, but we're here because we are that second chance. We want to make sure that we have that positive impact within our community, right? And so, is there a typical? I wouldn't say no. There isn't a typical. But getting back to the night, the way that we're structured, we offer classes in the morning, and then we do offer classes in the evening. We want to be able to target the working class or those that just are, they enjoy being up at night or up in the morning.
Yeah. Well, and maybe one thing that you could say is attractive to your future grads that wasn't attractive to them in high school. Is it the convenience? Is it certain things that the teachers are doing?
Well, I'll say that we have stellar teachers. We have passionate teachers here that are really. Their goal is to help the students, and so top notch. We have them here. In addition to that, I think that just knowing the population, knowing that maybe high school was difficult. You're an adolescent a lot of times. It gets tough, and it just maybe you're not ready at the time. The maturity level is not there, or you have you're helping your family. So there are many things that are going on that make it difficult for high school, but we're there. It's letting them know that this is your second chance, and we're committed to helping you reach your goal.
I love it, and I have been on the campus. I want to say it's the National City Adult Education Center. Is that the right name?
Yes,
Okay,
National
well,
City Adult School.
I got it right. And just there's just a flavor about it. It's not high school. It's more open, and I think you have students, as you're saying, more. Um, this is their second chance. Maybe they're more mature. I mean, we're all growing up, even me at my age.
Yeah.
But it's different, and so okay, you didn't make it the first time around, and here you go again, and we have experience. Your district and your educators have experience working with this particular population, and
Yeah.
so it's a great thing. I'm kind of winding down here, Sarah, because we're going to go into break.
Okay.
And I want to get into other aspects of the work that you're doing, but just so glad that you're there for the students. And I want to get into the ages a little bit, and maybe how that impacts their ability to complete their program. But that you're there for people of all ages, so that they get to do the things that they want to do. So just really appreciate you and your teachers, because I know how much they care and how good they are at what they do. So we're going to come back with Sara Garcia-Salgado. She's the assistant principal at Sweetwater Adult Education.
The San Diego Council on Literacy brings you Literacy for All with your host, Jose Cruz.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Jose Cruz. You're listening to the Literacy for All radio show, and we're on WSRadio. We're talking to Sara Garcia-Salgado. She's an assistant principal at Sweetwater Adult Education. Sarah, just for our listeners, especially because we're a literacy show, and we're talking about a school. Now, we have literacy programs. They're going to tutor people who are really at a beginning level of reading, and these are adults. If somebody wanted to enroll within your classes, and they really were struggling at reading, and let's say they were English speaking, do you have a program for them?
We do, absolutely. So we have our ABE, Adult Basic Education. We have reading and writing teachers. We use software program, Reading Plus, that has been highly successful. But yes, we have all of that. A lot of times I think that what we just identified was a need for adults with disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
So we've hired a team to assist with that if need be. And they're called the DART team, the Disability and Resource Center team. They've been a wonderful addition as well.
Tell us about, because I know you take pride in your instructors. Tell us about them in general. Are they formal school teachers? Are these people that, hey, I want to go into adult education? College teachers, reading specialists, all of that?
Yes, and yes.
Okay.
So we have some that were in elementary school. We have teachers that were at the middle and high school levels. We have, even our CTE teachers, they were just in the industry, so they specialize in that. We have school psychologists, like everything, all across the board. And then you have some like me that adult ed is all I've ever done, right? And so, and passion runs deep and
Sure.
passion runs high. And we see it every time, someone gets that high school diploma or the high school equivalency.
At this level, what does a school psychologist do?
The school psychologist. Okay, so our school psychologist, she was former school psychologist, is our program manager for our disability program.
Mm-hmm.
And so today we just interviewed for an employment specialist, but we have a Workability 2 program, so we work with the Department of Rehab, and then she oversees also our academic disabilities teacher. So we want to be able to just make sure we have all the supports in place, because that was something that, for us, adult ed, we didn't have that adults with disabilities, and we identified that as a gap in service, and it's being addressed now.
Very good. Tell our listeners, we're always interested in products that are out there. We call them products, but for all of you, they're very important tools that help your students. Tell us a little bit more about Reading Plus, can you?
Sure. So Reading Plus, it's kind of an assessment. So you'll assess a student. It'll basically they have to go through a reading program, and it'll tell us the number of words or what skills they have, and it places them appropriately. As they continue using the program, we see that their reading comprehension and their fluency increases. So it was something that we did only use in ABE, but as I explained the ESL pathways before, it's something now that has been embedded into the academic pathway as well. And so we've seen success with our students at the intermediate and even the beginning levels for the ESL academic pathway.
And is it heavy on phonics, or kind of a balance of approaches?
Not really heavy on phonics. Another program that we have is Learning Upgrade.
Oh, of course.
And that one does, Learning Upgrade does help with phonics. And that goes from, that kindergarten level, if we need to go that low, up to high school.
And are you happy with both of those programs? Is one favor one over the other?
No, we're happy with both in it, and I think it comes down to the user too. Mm-hmm. So there's a variety of programs that we use. Burlington English. We've just adopted new curriculum for our ESL courses, and that is, we adopted the Standout book. It's what worked well for us. It was a huge process when you get a committee together to really look at the curriculum that's going to work in your program and what's best for the students. That one worked out for us, and it was just in time. They have the online component to it. So when, the pandemic hit and everyone was sent home, that has proven to be just successful. Right.
Now, we have a bit of time. I have two questions I have to ask, and one is about your history with the district in adult education. How did you get to where you are today?
Okay. Well, I graduated from college. I was an English major, and a year later, the adult school came up. I came and applied, and I was hired for, it was then a CBET, so Family Literacy Program, where I taught over at the elementary schools. And so I was dealing with a lot of the parents there, and that was fun. And when you come to adult school, it's different in the sense that our students are here because they choose to be here and they want to be here.
Right.
When adult ed, it wasn't anything that I ever, thought I was going to go into adult ed. Yeah. But now I'll never leave adult ed. This is where my heart is. Mm-hmm. And, my mother got her GED, so she was also a product of adult school.
Wonderful. Now tell us, besides your mother's story, which I'm actually interested in that too, favorite success stories, a favorite student success story of yours.
Ooh, favorite student success story. Gosh,
maybe
only
somebody
one,
who came a long way and they went to, they met their goal.
I will tell you a recent one that we just had, and her name was Leticia. We won't use last names, but we consider her our triple threat because she came here. She was motivated. She was dedicated. She got into a CTE program, the admin professional class. She also enrolled into the high school equivalency class. And she enrolled into a citizenship class, and she completed all of those goals last December, all three of them. So it was, just the determination. She came in here just dedicated, and, she's a mother, she has children, but I was very, very impressed with her completing all three.
And she was an English language learner, too?
Yes.
Wow. Wonderful, wonderful. Do you have a traditional graduation, let's say high school?
We do. Every year at the end of May, we invite all of our high school equivalency and our high school diploma students to walk. And it's if you want to, get a Kleenex and cry, that's the place to do it, because it's just so nice to see them with their family and proud of that cap and gown that they wear, and I appreciate seeing that. And it's the hard work and the fact that they did it when they were 50 or 80 or 30 years old.
Right. Wonderful. Hey, we have time for closing comments, your website, address, anything you want to add.
Yeah, you can Google us, right, as Adult Education. So if you wanted to see Sweetwater or any of the 4 adult schools, you would just go to HTTP and then Adult Education, and I have it here.
Right. Let's see if I have
just
it
adult,
right.
yeah, adulteducation.sweetwaterschools.org. And CTE, ABE, ESL. The last little plug is all of our CTE programs do come with the language and literacy support teacher now.
Very good. Quickly, how much does this cost? It's free, right? I mean,
Everything is
there's a cost.
Everything is free. Yeah. The only thing there'll be some charges for the CTE course, but right now we're paying everything for CTE.
Okay, we're going to sign off. Sarah, thanks for being on the show with us. Let's have you back sometime. You're listening to the what show is this? The Literacy for All radio show on WSRadio, the worldwide leader in internet.